Welcome Tour is a funny little game. This is Weird Nintendo, offering up tutorials and quizzes for the features of your brand new Nintendo Switch 2. The one glaring error on Nintendo's part is it should have been a pack-in game, because this is precisely the type of interactive tutorial that you need for a new console. Today, I'm going to get into my review and thoughts for Welcome Tour on the Nintendo Switch 2. Well, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button down below for even more Nintendo content here on Power Up Direct. Well, first of all, I want to say that I like Welcome Tour and I think you should play it. Yes, it costs about £8 here in the UK, which is about roughly $10, but it is an interesting game from Nintendo, showcasing off their brand new console like proud parents. So just why Nintendo decided to charge for this just baffles me a little bit, and pretty much everyone else too. That paywall is a bit of a shame, because it's going to reduce the number of people who get to experience Welcome Tour, and it should be experienced if you've got a Switch 2, even if it's just for the Maracas minigame. You're going to explore the Nintendo Switch 2 walking across its Joy-Con, skating across the screen as helpful characters explain the ins and outs of the Switch 2 features. So do you want to know about how Rumble works? Or how about the colours related to HDR and the magnets for the Joy-Con 2? Well, all that information is in here and loads more as well. So I'm not really used to Nintendo going into this much technical detail. Since the Nintendo Wii in 2006, it felt like Nintendo didn't really care for technology very much. Their consoles haven't been about the latest graphics or great online systems, and their technology has been a vehicle to deliver their great games. And looking back over the last 19 years, when Nintendo's delivered some of the best games ever made on underpowered consoles, like Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Animal Crossing, absolutely loads of games, all delivered on systems inferior from a technology point of view when compared to their Xbox and PlayStation counterparts. But all that has changed with the Switch 2. Nintendo has joined the technological party, and you're going to learn all about it in Welcome Tour. So you are a little character who explores the Nintendo Switch 2 like a museum. You'll explore the Joy-Con 2, the screen, the console, inside and out. Nintendo go to lengths to explain what the technology is, why it's there, and how they built it. It's all delivered with nice relaxing music, and it's fun, albeit with a little F. So this one is an isometric exploration game where you control a little avatar who can walk or run around the Switch 2. So as you explore, you're going to collect stamps, which can feel a little bit restrictive at times if you've got to collect all the stamps before you move on to the next section. Sometimes it feels a little bit like Nintendo saying, you are going to learn about this before you move on, in a kind of organised, fun, work, team building kind of way. We've also got the mini-games, and they allow you to experience the technology in your hands, rather than just read about it or get quizzed about it. So you've got little exhibitions all over the Switch 2 console where your avatar can approach and get involved in a mini-game. So the mouse ones are particularly challenging, and when it starts you think, this is going to be easy, then I just seem to fall short every single time. The mouse games are particularly prevalent here. It's a brand new feature of the Nintendo Switch 2, and it feels like Nintendo really want you to know about the mouse functionality. Other mini-games include shooting balloons, colouring within the lines, and there's a quick reminder of Mario Paint, detecting the strongest rumble, and loads more mini-games as well. So their job is clear. They're demonstrating the new features of the Switch 2, and while the games are effective, sometimes I did wonder if they could have been a little bit more fun. Most are okay to good, but they didn't really jump out of the console screen to me as too memorable, which felt unlike Nintendo. Now, alongside the minigames, you've got information boards which you read and then you get quizzed. The quizzes aren't very hard and often include silly answers, but they do the job, and it makes you feel like a guided tour interactive museum experience. The quizzes do start out nice and easy and get progressively harder as you work your way through the Nintendo Switch and the features. Though reading felt like going through the motions towards the end. One thing that is very striking about Welcome Tour is just how much detail Nintendo go into. They're really opening up on the process of how they built the Nintendo Switch, and this may be the counter-argument from Nintendo as to why they are charging for the game. They clearly put a lot of effort into the game, and they have documented their building of the Switch 2 and created loads of digestible info and also the minigames as well. So I haven't been to the Nintendo Museum over in Japan. I really want to go, but I can imagine the exhibits being very similar to what you see in Welcome Tour. Yeah, I'm reminded of the Wii launch where Reggie Fils-Aimé had to fight for Wii Sports to be a free pack-in game for the Wii in the US. Reggie won that fight, and the Wii went on to be one of the most successful Nintendo consoles ever. Now, I do understand Nintendo put a lot of effort into Welcome Tour, but surely they could take the financial hit, especially given we're coming off the success of the Nintendo Switch, and also the hefty price rise of the Switch 2. I can only imagine how much money Nintendo made last week off the Switch 2, and continues to make off the Nintendo Switch. So come on Nintendo, next time you create a game like this, it has to be a free packing game. You would make a lot of fans very happy. As you progress through the Welcome Tour, it's hard not to be impressed by the detail, the tactile nature of this interactive demonstration of your brand new Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know about you, but when I got the Switch 2, one of the first things you notice about it is the quality. This thing feels like it's built to a higher standard of quality when compared to the Nintendo Switch. It feels expensive, it's heavier, it's somehow the same width, the screen is absolutely beautiful. You know, that pristine quality shines through Welcome Tour and is the perfect introduction to your brand new console. Yes, it can be repetitive at times, and yes, some of the minigames in Welcome Tour can be infuriating. However, seeing Nintendo talk about frames per second and 4K output is still mesmerising for me, thinking about where we came from to where we are today. Well, in conclusion, Welcome Tour is the perfect introduction to the Nintendo Switch 2. It's odd, it's entertaining, and it's weird Nintendo going into technical details about their brand new console. There's a ton of great information here, interactive tutorials and minigames to play with, and it's going to keep you busy for a surprising amount of time. Yes, you do have to pay for it, but if you can afford it, I think it is worth it. 100% it should have been bundled with the console itself, and Nintendo could have avoided this slight PR knock in an otherwise pretty flawless launch. And overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think about the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I'd love to hear what you think about it, but that is it for this video today, looking at the Welcome Tour review. And as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for even more Nintendo content here on Power Up Direct. Thanks again, and I'll see you real soon.